to the Beefy Pod, the official podcast of Beefy, the multi-chain yield optimizer. If you want to check that out, link below. I'm your host, Jorge, and today I am here with TBC, the Beefy cow, the marketing genius of Beefy. And boy, have we some fun stories to you.
That's right.
Because TBC, tell me, what's going on right now? What's going on? What's making my X feed make me cry with laughter?
God.
Come on.
Oh
now.
my God.
Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you I don't know, somehow missed it, Elon Musk and Donald Trump had a breakup session, and boy, was it embarrassing. The billionaire blowout themselves sends Bitcoin bottoming. Elon Musk's and his $75 million donation to the Trump campaign and Doge Department role imploded into an X feud, a very, very public, oversharing, way too much information feud, in which Elon himself alleged Donald Trump might be in the Epstein files. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Trump decided he wanted to dump Tesla stock, and all the frat boys sitting on X themselves have decided, our heroes are arguing. Mom and Daddy are having a fight at the kitchen table. I think I'm going to sell all my Bitcoin and all my other blah, 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 blah. Anyway, here's how, you know what? I don't know. I don't usually do a lot of this type of deep dive, but I'm going to say this, Jorge. I think Elon turning heel is a way to create a new party as controlled opposition to split the Dem ticket in 26 and rout out the legacy neocons, hoping that they could create enough seats in the Senate so that they could actually pass meaningful legislation. I'm going to say this whole thing was just another psyop. What say you, Jorge?
I mean, I know. I think that both of these people are morons. I don't think that there is any plan whatsoever. And for me, the joy of this is, it's Pride Month, but the only sexually confused people out there is MAGA. I am loving all this cope on the internet. It is fantastic.
Wow.
But more importantly, Twitter's an echo chamber.
It's an echo
I used
chamber.
to just use it for crypto, right? And now it's just tons of political stuff that I don't care about.
I can't even find crypto stuff
constantly being thrown at me. Dude, Elon, can you just make it so that way I can just put crypto stuff? Because that's literally all I use it for. And anyhow, separate from that, I think the most interesting part of this really is this has to make you ask some really interesting questions. Like when he drops that the only reason that the Epstein files are not open is because Trump is on them. Happy days to you, DJT, or whatever he said. What it shows is that he had a willingness to work with a pedophile, if that is true. Like it speaks on just how morally depraved Elon Musk is. It also speaks to his willingness to just, basically that it's not about cutting. It's not about anything. It's just about getting all the money that he gets from the government, which averages about $8 million a day, from U.S. subsidies. And now apparently the reason he lost it was not just because of his drugs making him do this at the Oval Office. Here, check the video out. But it is actually, apparently, and I think this is the boring answer, but the most likely answer, is that Trump was going to cut all the EV subsidies, effectively making all the Tesla vehicles way more expensive, or at least Musk will not be able to make as much money personally off of those vehicles, whichever might be true. And so I just think that I think this is good because I think the worst impulses, I guess these are just my political views. But anyways, long story short, I enjoyed the fight. It was great.
Oh my God,
And
stop
the
it.
only thing that sucks here is that everybody is clearly basing the entire
Yes.
stock market and the entire crypto market on vibes. And they're just like, my two gay parents are fighting. I must dump all my assets. And
We all got into this
that's
space.
basically, that's what happened.
We all got into space to get away from these people manipulating the markets. And here we are hanging on to every word that two gigantic trolls say to each other. I mean, here's the other thing. And listen, I, for one, came out a long time ago and said, I don't want the Epstein files released because that's where I store my seed phrase. But I will say,
That'd be a great place to store it.
I will say, how would Elon know, right? He saw them. And if so, well, who else is on them, Elon, right? If you fanboys out there are going to, take everyone's word when they're out there trolling as biblical, then you got to ask the rest of the questions, right? Of course, Donald Trump went to the island, right? Of course. I'm sure, Jorge, you know where that island is too, right? Have you visited?
Not yet. Not yet, but I hear it's sunny and beautiful, apparently.
There, you know
Where is
what?
it, like off the Bahamas or something?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask Peter Schiff. Do you think Peter Schiff knows?
Oh, yes. I forgot about that. TBC.
Yes.
Tell us about this joyous, read this joyous tweet. Peter Schiff.
I
don't know what this guy was. Just read it. Just read it for me.
Okay, so
do your best Peter Schiff impression.
I
without
don't
talking
even
about
have
gold.
one because I mean, listen, poor Peter Schiff, right? He found himself, in an argument on the internet, and in which he decided to clarify, some terms. Peter Schiff says, for what it's worth, FYI, pedophiles are attracted to prepubescent girls and boys. I'm not defending Epstein, but he had sex with teenage girls 14 to 17. That has... Why do I have to read this? This is...
Oh my God.
I can't read...
This makes me feel gross.
Can we just
finish it?
No, I'm not...
Finish it.
Hold
You're
on.
the one in the AI background. Come on.
Okay. All right. It goes on. Okay. They were underage, so criminal and immoral, but does that make him a pedophile, right? Okay, so he's questioning this, and then he goes on to say, he responds, what's your point? I clearly wrote that I was not defending Epstein and that older men having sex with underage girls is wrong. I just don't like it when people redefine terms. And then Jacob Shed 24 on Twitter says, my point is even insinuating it's okay for an adult male to have sex with 14-year-olds is despicable, consensual or not. And then Peter Schiff goes on to say, I did not say it was okay. I said that the 14-year-old girls have gone through puberty. Then that's not pedophilia, which is a psychological order that is characterized by sexual attraction to prepubescent children. So it's wrong, but doing it does not make one a pedophile. Could you imagine yourself, first off, on the internet arguing this point, and then coming out and saying, hold on, I'm sorry, I wasn't ready for this. That we're gonna have to cut a bit of this out.
God.
Sorry. Everybody give me a second here.
I'm sure all 5 of our viewers will enjoy it.
Okay. He said, I'm not saying it was a crime. I'm saying it's not pedophilia. When I was in college, I had sex with underage girls. That doesn't make me a pedophile. Okay.
What the hell?
Why is this happening on the internet? And why? This is the man who hates Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. So
just keep that in mind.
Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind.
Gold has a pedophile representative. Bitcoin,
Bitcoin?
not that we know of yet.
Well, I mean, is Donald Trump going to make Bitcoin for sale?
Oh, that's a good point. If he's on the list, then Bitcoin might have one.
This is terrible. By the way,
Christ.
we're completely demonetized now. We're completely demonetized because I've said the
We're
word
gonna wake
pedophilia.
up and some guy in a suit is gonna knock on our door.
This is the worst episode ever. Anyway, I don't have a transition here. Let's just didn't something. Do you have one?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Speaking of oligarchs fighting, Circle has IPO'd, making itself in a new strong position within the U.S. market. And not exactly the best transition, but we are rolling with it.
Let's go.
So Circle IPO'd at $31 and went IPO was 31, opened at $69 and closed at $83.23. So it went up 168%. It's now valued at about $18 billion. And USDC has about $60 billion in circulation in terms of their stable coins and is backed by BlackRock. And what apparently this means is that it reflects the growing institutional appetite for stablecoins. What I think is really interesting here, now that we're actually on crypto news, is this kind of goes back to our predictions, which I felt like for you and I, this was probably the most obvious one.
Yes.
But stablecoins are just going to keep popping off. I mean, it is one of the greatest use cases in crypto history. I'll put a video right now, and then this video will pause, and then I'm going to cut this.
Yeah.
But basically, that's the Uber CEO talking about the use cases that they foresee for stablecoins. The reality is that it is cheaper to accept a stablecoin than it is to do a payment through a credit card or debit card provider, and the settlement is faster. So I just think that this is really speaking on how far crypto is going to go. And I think we're going to get to this point where the use of stablecoins is basically going to be abstracted. Like you're just going to use your credit cards and stuff like that. But instead, it's just all going to be settled on the blockchain. And also, this is incredibly bullish for ETH. And we here at Beefy are definitely not biased to ETH. Aren't we? We're definitely not.
Nope.
We've never been biased for
No, we've dumped on ETH more than its fair share.
We've dumped on it a few times.
We dump on everything. Let's be fair. We love everybody.
True.
We love the development, but we're going to have to dump on you. Keeping it real.
I mean, since I've been eating a plant-based diet, I've just been dumping on everything, so that's fine. Anyways, TBC, what are your thoughts on the Circle IPO?
I you know what I think. I don't care. I don't listen. Circle, you're great. Love you guys, but like, I don't know, sketchy stuff going on here. And I don't like when our little world with our little defined goals and values gets taken out to the real world where all the scumbags and degenerates get involved. The real ones, not like the degens that might actually be listening to this, but like the real ones out there that really, really ruin everything. I know for a fact there's some legit decentralized stable coins out there. I know for a fact that there are stable coins that are in existence and ones that are being developed where no one has control over them. And I listen, Tether, Circle, your ability to freeze stuff, I don't like that. And certain people buying into your model, especially the ones with, that rhyme with cock, that makes me sus. And once again, I think people sometimes get in this space for the values and then as quickly as possible sell themselves out. They're like politicians or whores or degens. Like all you in the audience, you dirty whores. Anyway.
Each and every one of you. Skanky.
Wow. Okay. Nah, take it back. Poor skanky whores in the audience.
It's all in jest. Come on.
All right,
Our audience has a sense of humor. They made it this far.
Yeah, this is... Okay. Anyway, I don't know. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's obviously, as we talked about, stablecoins aren't going away. They're going to be part of the world that we're going to live in. How quickly they onboard? Good. Onboard the next billion people, so I could teach them about the magical stablecoins that exist that are on Team Good versus the ones on Team Sell Your Soul.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely I definitely agree with what you're saying, and something to point out here too is that these are centralized assets. For those of you that didn't really understand where TBC was going, maybe you're new to crypto and you're still learning, but for the most part, these are just businesses that are using the technology in a centralized fashion. I mean, effectively, the Genius Act is picking winners and losers for stablecoins that are going to be used in the real world.
Yeah.
So the unfortunate thing here is that the decentralized ones, they could be used in a peer-to-peer fashion. You know, like if you want to buy something with, you know, a decentralized stablecoin from someone else and you just want to send it to their wallet directly to complete some type of transaction or DeFi or something, that's still going to be possible. But keep in mind that this is basically just a domino effect of like making sure that whatever's going on in the real world is still basically censorship or
Yeah.
able to be censored, etc.
Like,
You know,
seriously.
which
After this episode, I am not going to be allowed to send any stablecoins to Jorge. All right. And I'm certainly not going to be able to send any stablecoins to Peter Schiff. Like, that guy.
I don't want to send that guy
That guy-
anything. What
Sorry,
the hell is he
Peter.
doing on his free time?
Sorry. All right. Well,
Yeah,
anyway, so talking about disasters. Turns out, remember that Coinbase breach, that $400 million security disaster that happened a while ago? And I'm just going to read this one straight from the Twitter, as usually I write my own stories or have AI do it because I'm lazy. But this one I'm going to read because I think it sums everything up here in just 2 posts. So according to Reuters, Coinbase was informed in January that an employee of its contractor Task US in India leaked customer data. January. Okay. Which is tied to, like, I don't know, they say a $400 million breach. So a female employee filmed client info and then sold to hackers. 200 staff were fired. Okay. In January, right? Then following up this post, and I think this post is by far the best response you could have about this from SendPagX, whatever. Just give a shout out to you. Brian Armstrong, thanks for withholding details of the leak for months. You're actually goated for that. It's probably the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. You handled customer data on a crypto exchange, but you didn't disclose a leak until months after you knew about it. Heroic. I love being kidnapped. That's fire, bro. Thanks. Jorge.
this is definitely like, you know, all of you who want the CFPB to be around. I'm one of those people. This is your fuel. This is exactly what we knew was going on. You know, it's unfortunate because, you know, Coinbase is not a sponsor. We don't have a sponsor. This is a show from Beefy, but
Beefy doesn't sponsor us either.
but no, I mean, yeah, it's a Beefy show, I guess. However you want to word this,
We're
TBC, but
beefy men.
we're beefy men. But with that being said, I think like this is just more reason for you to make sure that whatever crypto you buy, you put in a wallet. Okay, I mean, this is a company that clearly did not have their customers' best interest in mind. They waited 3 months to let you know that, you know, this much money was, basically compromised potentially. And then on top of that, you know, if you're a insurance provider for like financial services, why would you want to insure a company that wouldn't tell you an issue until, well, there's no way to know that. They may have told the insurance provider it's possible
The
that
point
they would
is,
have already known.
the point is, it's not transparent. It's not online. You don't know. Somebody else has your information, and literally, we all got into crypto because we wanted control of our own funds and data and privacy. And here we go, a corporation doing what a corporation does to protect its stock price, right? We always gotta
Right.
protect our investors. So let's bury some information. And I don't know if that's what Brian was doing deliberately or what was happening, but
Oh no, he didn't find out till he posted about it.
of course, I'm
Clearly.
sure I didn't. I mean, just,
Yeah, that's the only way. I mean, come on.
I don't
What do
know.
you think is going on under that bald head of his?
Hey now. Listen, I'm just this. I really want this show one day to be bullish, but I feel like we spend so much of our time just like just going, oh my, we're like a disappointed father looking at their dumb teenage son doing dumb crap over and over again, going, my God, what is going to happen next? And you know what? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, Jorge, is there anything bullish happening in the world?
Why? I'm so glad you asked.
Okay, I guess. Let's great.
That was messy as could be.
It's great.
I'm so glad you asked, TBC.
Yes.
So Ether's inflows on their ETFs are on fire. In the past 15 days, 837.5 million have flown into the Ether ETF since May 16th, which, to give you an idea, Bitcoin ETFs have actually had outflows. So despite the price increases, it looks like the institutions are starting to look at ETH as a very viable asset. And, you know, these inflows seem to be the reason why ETH has had quite a jump back in price. And I think it's speaking on what the future is going to look like. Not to mention with this IPO from Circle, the conversations about ETH are going to be huge. You know, all these people are going to ask, hey, Circle's great, but what's the underlying technology that makes Circle work? And so that, I think, is extremely bullish, because here at Beefy, we definitely are not biased. Never.
There's no bias. No. There's no bias.
There's no bias.
We love everybody. Just fix your shit. That's all we're asking. We're literally asking, fix your shit. And if you don't know anything about Beefy, we're very nice guys. Okay? The devs, the BD team, everybody is really nice guys. We're just tired of people that just can't fix their shit. Okay? Security is important. Security is important, people. Be secure, right?
Absolutely.
With your code, with your users, you know, and with your own information. And make sure, ladies and gentlemen, hide those private keys into Epstein files where they'll never be found.
They'll never be found there.
They'll never be found there.
Yeah, they'll never come out. So
Never come out.
there's that. So speaking of that,
Yeah.
now we have some fun
about-
Solana news.
Anyway, if you're not bullish yet, Jorge, this story is going to make you friggin' the bull of all bulls. Pump.fun,
Belly.
if you haven't heard of it, okay, Pump.fun, big part of Solana, introduces revenue sharing and the pump token holders. So if you got Pump token, get ready. So Pump.fun, a Solana-based platform launched in January of 2024. Has it been that long? My God. Has introduced a revenue sharing program for its Pump token holders. The platform, which allows users to create and trade meme coins instantly, will distribute 50% of its earnings generated through a 1% trading fee and additional fees when tokens reach certain market capitalizations in SOL tokens to Pump holders. So Pump.fun, make meme coins. If it hits a certain capitalization, boom, everyone's getting paid. Everyone's getting paid. This initiative aims to boost community engagement, transparency, and sustainability in the meme coin market. And you know what, Jorge? Finally, there's actually a way for Pump.fun users to actually make money. This is if you didn't know, and I'm sure you haven't, only 1.76% of the wallets have ever made over $1,000 on Pump.fun. So
I mean,
that's wild.
something that I think is notable here, though. I'm not a fan of Pump.fun. I don't trade meme coins at all. But something that I will say, though, is it is an extremely profitable platform. I mean, human greed is rife, and the way that they have generated revenue is pretty wild. So I mean, it's basically like, it's like, you don't want to play the game at the casino? Well, you can just, I guess, receive the money that people lose. At least some of it. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like, I see what they're doing here. I don't know if it's going to work. They did raise $1 billion through their initial coin offering, which is huge. So there's obviously a massive amount of demand to participate. If anything, the one thing I'm going to give them credit for is that they have handled such an insane amount of volume. It's pretty wild. So I think it just kind of alludes to the strength of Solana, like credit to them that they can handle so much volume. And also potentially that we're going to see a world, and we've alluded to this in some things that Robinhood has done in Europe to create 24-hour trading in the markets. And I think that's where we're going, that everything is going to be on the blockchain, most likely ETH, but everything will be on the blockchain.
The only thing we learned,
we're not biased.
The only thing we learned from Pump.fun is that people love gambling. People love gambling. People love a lottery ticket, and people are going to chase lottery tickets. And if you haven't figured out, that's what everyone is doing in crypto. Because we all just want to get rich as quickly as possible. There is no take your time, build wealth. It is give me the most riskiest, stupid assets ever. I'm going to make a Jorge token after this, and I'm going to place it on Pump.fun, and I'm going to see how I do.
I have nothing to do with this.
Nope, you are. Your face is on it. It's
no.
Yes, it's going to be great. We're going to do it. That's the next episode. We're going to do it live. It's going to be great. And we're going to see how much money I can make off of it and then dump on everybody, because that's what we do. We dump on everybody. Jesus.
But if you hold the Pump.fun tokens, you'll get some money out of it.
Is there a dump.fun? Is instead of Pump.fun? Like,
dude, the possibilities there, man. That's why they got to hire you for marketing.
Like like an Oppo Pump.fun. Like, instead of trying to pump it, everyone tries to dump it, right?
Yeah.
We could hire that Win guy to come up on, be our spokesperson.
Yeah, I suppose so.
All right. Well, anyway.
So, are you ready?
No.
I know you're ready.
No, we got to talk about everyone's favorite state now.
I like California. It's not perfect, but I like it. California. It's all about it. Keep it rocking. Let's have a party. And Tupac is like in heaven looking down at me and just in shame and disappointment. Yeah, definitely. Anyways.
Anyone know if Tupac went to the island?
I doubt it. I look, the first list came out. We know the Clintons are on there.
Whoa.
Well, we don't want the Clintons to pull this video.
Whoa.
What's his name from Rush Hour was on there?
Stop it.
Chris Tucker.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying the ones that I know. Anyways, so speaking of California, California has passed is in progress of passing a very controversial law called AB 1052, Crypto Lost and Found. So what this act is planning to do is that if your crypto, or rather if your Bitcoin, it has not made very clear if it's for Bitcoin, all crypto, but most people are speculating that it is for crypto in general. It will effectively allow the government to seize your crypto if it's sitting on an exchange dormant for 3+ years. And so obviously Twitter has gone absolutely insane over this information. What I will say is, after having dug into this a little more, it still is really annoying in my opinion. But basically what happens is they would seize your crypto. You would get an email from the exchange notifying you that your crypto has been seized by the government. And then they would proceed to give you the information of whomever you need to contact to be like, hey, I'm so-and-so, it's my crypto, can you send it back to me? But the fact that you have to go through all this bureaucracy, also in the bill, it states that the assets are not going to be sold. So like, what's the point of this? I don't get it. You know, like normally it's like, okay, I guess if we haven't heard from them in another 3 or 10 years or whatever, I guess we sell it and it goes to the treasury or whatever of, I don't know. This just seems like a massive waste of time to me. This seems like a massive waste of time.
It's kind of like a nothing burger.
Yeah. It's not as big as people made it out to be. So I guess we're here to let you know that you're safe for now.
Okay, I'm having some issues after you mentioned after you mentioned a certain name on the show. So, excuse me, I changed my identity from now on. All right. Anyway, yeah. Well, let's get to our last story. Hey, and this one,
And our funnest story.
and our most, yeah, exactly. If you probably missed out on this, as there was a lot of drama this week. Poor Sonic Labs. But hey, get in on the airdrop. Sonic Labs, okay, launched a 190.5 million S token airdrop to U.S. residents, right? U.S. residents. Hey, Americans, you could actually participate in an airdrop for the first time ever, I believe, legally. I'm just going to put that in quotation marks, right? So anyway, DeFi gaming, whatever you participate in. Big news. DS token price did drop a bit this month, but also if you've been on Beefy, you earn B gems, which allocate you to Beefy's airdrop portion of that as well. So hey, there you go. That's it. So Sonic, well done. Hopefully that token will bounce. Maybe you could use your contacts and hire Trump to say, hey, it's gonna be great, or whatever, however he says it. So Jorge,
No, he would be like, it's like, Sonic Labs is so great. It's so fast. The little blue hedgehog. I've seen him on the internet. The Japanese made a hedgehog. Now it's a crypto. Sonic Labs, buy it. It's great. I love it. I trade on it. My son, he says it's great. I love it. Elon, I'm definitely not worried about that. Not worried about people looking at the video of me dancing with Jeffrey Epstein and talking about the girls. I'm fine. Come on, TBC. You have a little. Come on.
This is just the lowest denominator right here. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for this episode, as I always am, right here every week on the Beefy Pod. Jorge, any last words before we sign off?
If happy Pride Month. If you're sexually confused about which parent you're gonna love the most after the Trump Elon fight, but thank you for watching the Beefy Pod, and I hope you have an excellent rest of your week.
Take care, everybody.
Cheers, TBC.